All right, let's start with a massive cheer if you're stoked just being around so many like-minded people tonight. Right? And stop. How about instead you raise your hand if you know that by next week you'll have done very little to keep this excitement alive. Right? Because we are so good at getting inspired, but we generally suck at mobilizing ourselves into action after we've been inspired. And in particular, leveraging like-minded people like this outside of our usual networks. Well, what if, in the next few minutes, I could paint a picture of what that collaboration could look like? What if your inspiration actually did start tonight? Before I do, let me do a quick audience poll. Give me a shout out if you're from the startup or technology space. What about retail? Banking, corporate, hospitality, tourism? You see, I bet none of you have actually worked together in this collaborative people practices, yet you've probably, behind closed doors, have poo-pooed some of their industry best practices. Well, what if we stopped generalizing banks and public service for being slow and corporate, or for startups for being overly innovative or irresponsible in their people practices? You see, because I believe every sector has amazing people, leaders doing dope shit, but we're still independently creating our own best practices. Well, what if we truly embraced the sharing economy and invited people from all sectors to co-author people practices for the future of work? What if we complemented the sharing of ideas and inspirations with actual collaborative work? Why? Because what if all of us here actually believe the future of work has arrived? If most of you believe that the connected generation wants a non-hierarchical and collaborative work environment that's transparent and has greater purpose, well, what if we created that same culture within our people and HR communities? What if we are on the verge of the most evolutionary change in the history of HR? Let's applaud Open Source HR or Culture Lab X for socializing with our communities a new way to collaborate and solve our people challenges. So what am I actually proposing? Well, what if we shone a new light? I think the sharing of best practices is a must, but co-creating them with people from all different sectors, dude, that would be so sick. But how would we actually do that? Well, what if we leverage two of the most powerful frameworks that are in play today to create these people practices? That would start with maybe leveraging, here we go, design thinking. Its application has no limits. What if we truly embraced empathy and found out what our people really wanted from our people programs and use that to inform how we allocate our resources and investments? The HR playbook is pretty much dead. The future work is here. And what if we incubated ideas in some kind of modified hackathon framework? Can you imagine 50 or more of us locked in a room for however long it takes to develop prototypes of the future work? And what if at least 5 of those companies took that prototype back to their place of work to test it with their teams? And what if they had to bring back feedback and any KPIs so that we could iterate on those programs until we had a finished product that we could share with the entire community here? And what if we ensured it never became an old boys or girls club, but that people from all sectors, regardless of experience, could participate and not just the usual names? And what if we did it on a perpetual basis? Let's just recap. What if you co-designed innovative people practices that could potentially transcend business sectors? I'm not talking the sharing of ideas. I'm talking about developing common language and bringing new ideas to life together. Well, what if it's that easy? Would you participate? Yeah. Would you? Because I've heard a lot of people say in the last year we floated this idea is that it's too ambitious and it can't be done. Well, I know one thing, no amount of hype can guarantee success. Totally dope movie, but whatever. But what if someone's crazy enough to actually organize such an event? It could be the greatest or the worst events of the year. Well, what do I believe? The organizers of Disrupt HR have given us permission to promote such an event, and we want you there. October, maybe November, 2016, me and a bunch of friends are going to co-lead the first People and Culture Hackathon in Vancouver. In the future of work, the people and companies that win are the ones who share. If you want to be a part of it, your call to action is to connect with me on LinkedIn and let me know tonight. Let's frickin' do this. That was my mic drop, by the way, and I was told if I dropped this, $500. So.